Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have an updated how to start selling on Poshmark for beginners video. The last one that I recorded was over a year and a half ago. Since then, Poshmark has changed somewhat and I've learned a ton of new things along the way as well. So this video is going to be divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we're just going to talk about what you need to do before you start posting on Poshmark. So the inventory, where to get it, what kind, the pictures, and all of that. In the second part of this video, we'll talk about what you do to list your items for sale on Poshmark. So uploading your pictures, setting your price, your description, your title. In the third part of the video, we're just going to discuss what happens after the fact. How do you actually make sales? And when you do make a sale, what happens? How do you ship that item? And how do you get paid? So first things first, you need some inventory to post on Poshmark. Initially, Poshmark was only for like women, fashion, but now they've expanded a lot. They've added a lot of what they call markets. So you can post women's, kids, or men's clothing and shoes. You can post new or used clothing and shoes. You can post home stuff like home decor or even kitchen utensils, plates, cups, and they've recently added a pets market. You can also do personal care things as long as they are unused, like for makeup and lotions and things like that. They need to be new and sealed in order for you to sell them there. But I mostly focus just on the clothes and shoes in all categories. And so that's what I'm going to be posting today. These are things that I picked up at the thrift store. I go to the thrift store every other week. I'm trying to bump that up to once a week, but right now I'm going almost every other week. I will buy a bunch of inventory, enough to last me for the next 2 weeks. And then I just focus on processing that, taking the pictures and posting that throughout weeks at a time. But when I just got started, of course, I started with what I had in my house, old things that my kids didn't use anymore, and me myself, clothes that I didn't wear, didn't fit. I started posting that. So that's where I recommend that most people start when they're starting with Poshmark, with what you have in your home. Just look through all your drawers, all your closets, every room, anything that you don't use, you don't need, post that. Even though the earnings won't be that much, listing things that you have around your house, sometimes it's not things that are going to garner a lot of money. But I think that's okay because it gives you the opportunity to practice and gain the confidence that this does work, that you actually can make sales. And it just gets you into the groove of things. And then once you have things going and you know how things work, then you can move on to thrifting for items or going to retail stores to buy items to sell on Poshmark. Once you do have your inventory gathered and ready to go, the next step is going to be to prep your items. Now, I guess this step is optional because I do see lots of people posting things on Poshmark for sale and they're wrinkly or dirty and they still end up selling. Some buyers are very particular and some are not, but it's better to just give yourself the best chance by posting clean, presentable items. So for clothes, I use a steamer. I did start off using an iron, just a regular iron that I would use for my normal clothes. That's what I would use to get my clothes looking right. But what I found with that is that sometimes it would leak water droplets, so I would have to wait to take the pictures. But if that's all you have, then I suggest just getting started with what you do have. So I started using the iron and then I went on to purchase handheld steamers from Amazon, and those worked great, but they kept messing up on me. So after buying 2, I thought it'd be best to just invest my money in like a commercial type steamer, which I'll show you here on the side what it looks like, the one I use. But I really like that one because the water container can hold a lot, so I don't have to keep refilling it often. It really does get the job done. It doesn't spray water anywhere, so I can immediately take the pictures right after steaming, and it's just proven to be the best option. So if you have the money or if you can, it's best to invest in something like that right off the bat instead of wasting your money on handheld ones that are going to mess up after 5 months of using them. As for shoes, when getting them clean, the best thing I recommend first off is to buy only shoes that only need a little bit of wiping down, that don't need so much scrubbing and things like that, unless you think it's actually going to be worth it. But as for me, I tend to just get shoes that just need a quick wipe down and that's it. But at my thrift store, they do add the pricing with like marker at the bottom of each shoe. So this is what I use to take that off, glue gone. And I've also seen people in comments of my other videos say that WD-40 works really well. I've heard olive oil works really well. So if you have marker or any sort of stains on shoes to get off, you can try any of those things. For boots, leather boots and things like that, I use this Dr. Martens Balsam. It just kind of spiffs it up a bit and makes it look neat. For suede shoes, this is what I recommend. It's almost always comes in a pack like this. This is just basically an eraser. Then you just use this to buff out any stains or snags that any suede shoes may have. Other than that, other things you may need are the Scotty peeler to peel off any sort of stickers. So I'll just spray it with this Glue Gone here, let it sit there for a moment, and then just scrape it off with this Scotty peeler here. And then this here is a, what is it called? Dr. Clean's magic eraser thing. Just wet it and it's very easy to take off stains. With your items all prepped, you're now ready for the next step, which would be to take pictures. Now for pictures, you're going to need a plain, clear background. If it's white, all the better, but if not, at least if it's clear, if it's free of clutter. I know there's some people who like to decorate their photos, and I tried that in the past as well, but I've heard plenty of times from plenty of people that it's better to just have a plain, clear, white background. That's what Google prefers, and some Poshmark listings will actually pull up when people are doing a Google search. So if you have that, all the better, but if not, you can just use a plain wall. So this is the one I use right here. It's right above my desk. I just moved this desk out of the way, and then up here I have a nail, and that's what I use to do my hanging up pictures. And then later I'll just use an app. There's many that you can use. PhotoFuse, there is Photo Room, Canva, and remove.bg. Any of those apps you can use to remove the background of your photo and replace it with a crisp white one. Now if you are doing hanging up photos, you're going to need some hangers for that. For the jeans, these are the kind that I like to use. They're just white, and most of the time the apps that I use to remove the background will also remove this white hanger as well. So then all you can see is just these snaps, and it doesn't interfere too much with the pictures. And I just bought these at Walmart. For tops and dresses, these are the hangers I like to use. They're just clear acrylic, and most of the time this gets cut off as well. And again, I got these hangers at Walmart too. Whenever you are using a wall to hang up your things and take the pictures, make it as close to a window as possible so that you can get the natural lighting, so that you can avoid using artificial lights. I do use some artificial lights when it's too dark outside, but for the most part, I try to use mostly natural lighting. I just feel that that gives you the best pictures. And for those times that I do need to use the lighting, this is the one I use. It is just this photo box, and I got this in a set of 2 on Amazon, but most of the time I just use that one. And as I said, I hang up my items here, and there right there is a big window that lets in a lot of natural light. So then I'll just put the photo box on this side. That way there's light shining from 2 ways. Now, if you don't have a clear background that you can use, you can always buy something like this. These are Elmer's glue display boards. They're just trifold display boards. Here is the label I can show you. And I buy these at Walmart. They're probably like $10 or a little less. And I actually use both. I start off with my pictures hanging them up, and then I bring them out to this display board so that I can take close-up pictures and the measurements as well. And that's something that I really encourage you to try to include from the beginning. That way you don't get a lot of questions. Sometimes people will take the time to ask you a question like how long is it or whatever, but sometimes they'll just skip over yours and move on to someone who does have measurements. So I really feel like measurements are important, and as I said, I take them as I'm taking my pictures. So I take a picture of this right here, this measuring tape on top of, say, a dress to show the length. But then I'll also sometimes use this yardstick just because it's less finicky to deal with and it's easier for things that aren't that long. So like shoes and heels and things like that, I'll just place it right there, take the picture, and it shows the length of the heel. Okay, so here is a behind the scenes look of how my whole picture process looks like. The fan on top is on because it gets pretty hot with that light here. In the background, I have a Marie Forleo podcast to keep my ears occupied while I do this. So here on this rack, I have all of my items steamed, prepared, ready to go to take pictures. I'm just finishing up with the dresses now. Next will be these jeans. So what I do is I take a piece of clothing from this rack and I hang it up on this wall here. When I hang it up on this wall, I make sure to take a picture of the front of the dress, of close-ups, and I will also take a video for Poshmark. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but Poshmark does accept videos now, 15-second videos, so I will take one of those. Once I'm done taking the pictures, then I will bring the item to this table. It's basically my desk. I moved it apart from the wall here, and I put this Elmer's glue display board on top of it. And on this table is where I will take pictures of the tags with the size and the material of the item. And I will also, as I talked about earlier, take measurements of the item. So I would just put on this tape measure here, take the length, take the armpit to armpit on dresses. Sometimes I'll do the waist. Once I'm done taking the pictures, then I will fold the item and put them inside one of these poly bags right here. From there, the item will come here to my scale. I'll put the item on top. I take a picture of the scale with the item. That way later when I'm posting, I know exactly how much the item weighs. This doesn't matter for Poshmark, but I also post on Mercari and eBay, and they do ask for weight. So if you plan on doing that, that's just a heads up. After that picture of the scale, I will add one of these stickers here. Just says thank you for supporting my small business. So I will stick that sticker there, and then the item will go into this basket, which I will then later organize into my closet. So those are just some of the picture options you have. I'm sure as you do this more and more, you'll end up settling on a system that works for you. But I think in general, there are just some very basic rules you need to follow to get the flawless pictures. So the first is, I'm going to show you here on my phone. You have to have your phone set up on a 1:1 ratio. So right now this is set up on a 9:16. So you're going to tap on that and it's going to give you options, and you're going to change it to a 1:1. What this will do is it'll make the picture a square, because on Poshmark, they only accept pictures as a square. If you upload a picture in different dimensions, it'll either get cut off or they won't accept it at all. So make sure your phone is set up as a square, or whatever camera you're using. I used to use the camera I'm recording on right now, but I just found it easier to use my phone, and that way the pictures are always on my phone. I can export them to my computer. I can upload the pictures right onto Poshmark from my phone. It's just much easier for me. But whatever you decide to go with, make sure it's on a 1:1 ratio. Make sure that your picture or your item is well lit. And then make sure that you take a great cover photo. The cover photo is going to be the picture that's right on the front of your listing. So it's what people will see first. For your cover photo, you need to make sure that the item is seen in its entirety. So you can see your jeans from top to bottom, or the top or the dress. fold it whichever way you need to so that people can see the entire thing. Make sure that it's clear, make sure that it's centered in the square. On Poshmark, they recently increased the amount of pictures you can add. So you can now add a total of 16 pictures. That's a lot. You don't really need to use all of them, but use as many as you need to show the item in its entirety, all of the different angles from the front, the back, close-up of details, and most importantly, close-up of any type of flaws that your item may have. Any holes, any snags, any stains, anything that the buyer needs to know about. That way you won't have that many returns. The only way people can return items on Poshmark is if the item is not as described. So if you describe the flaw in the pictures and also in the description, then you're safe. People cannot return the item back to you. Before we move any further, the next thing you're going to have to do is create a Poshmark account if you don't have one already. And signing up for Poshmark is pretty easy. Just like any other account you create, you can sign up with an email right through your Facebook or with a Google account. I'm going to try to create an account from scratch with you just so I can share some valuable information with you along the way. Okay, so I filled out most of the information. I put a name and email, and right here is where you'd put your username. Right below the username, it says choose something you like. This cannot be changed. And it's true, you can't just go around and keep changing your username. But I'd say don't worry or stress about it too much if you don't have a name you'd like to use as your Poshmark closet name right now, because you can always email them and ask them to change it. That's what I did before. I just put in a random username, and once I wanted to take Poshmark seriously and I wanted to change my username, I just emailed them and they were able to change it for me. So if you can't think of something right now, just pick anything and move on. Another thing is that they'll ask you if you have an invite code. My invite code is Sandy's 5th Avenue. I'll put it here on the screen for you. If you use my code, you get $10 credit that you can use on Poshmark, and I get a $10 credit. And once you do all of that, go ahead and click done. Next, we're brought to this page where you can add a profile picture. If you're using your account to sell often, I do recommend you put a picture of yourself. I think this just builds trust with people who are looking to buy from you. So a decent profile picture, add it if you can. From there, you're just going to choose your dress size. I'm just choosing random things, and your shoe size, your zip code, and then click next. Here they want you to choose 3 brands that you like the most, just so that they can get you started with shopping. But I'm just going to click next for now, and that's it. Your account is created. Here they have some suggested people that they'd want you to shop from. We're just going to click on start shopping, and here we are in our brand new account. The first thing that I want to tell you is that Poshmark is a very social app. You're going to receive a lot of notifications here in the news saying that people followed you. Once you start posting your items, people shared your items and all of those things, but none of that matters. Just don't pay attention to any of that. You don't need to follow people back. You don't need to share other people's things. None of that. All you have to do is upload as much as you can items for sale, and then later on in the video I'll share some of the things that will help you actually make sales. Another warning that I want to give you is that scammers will try to come after you because you created a new account. Scammers know that new people don't really know how Poshmark works, and so they will try to come to your page when you list something for sale and ask you if they can pay more for the item than you're selling it for. All they need you is to email them and things like that. They'll say a lot of random things. Ignore anyone who wants to do business with you off of Poshmark, unless you know them personally or you really trust them. But all these people who are coming here on Poshmark telling you they want to pay through PayPal or they want to go through email, a check, and all this, just ignore them. When it comes to uploading your pictures onto Poshmark to start selling your items, there are several options. If you took them with your phone, you can use a USB cord like this, connect it to your computer and to your phone, and then you'll be able to access your pictures onto your computer if you're listing on your computer, or you can upload the pictures from your phone onto Poshmark, and then you'll be able to go to your computer, click on sell on Poshmark here at the top right, and then the things that you uploaded from your phone will be available for you right here. As you see, it says I have 4 drafts, so these are 4 things that I uploaded from my phone and saved it as a draft, and now they're available for me to start posting here. Another thing you can do is go to Google Photos. So this is Google Photos, and then I can just download the pictures from here, or you can, I think, airdrop them if you're using Apple products. I think that's what it's called. What I do nowadays is I upload the pictures onto this software called List Perfectly. I upload the pictures from my phone. I just go to the List Perfectly website, upload the pictures, and then I will come here onto List Perfectly and finish off the draft by adding a title, a description, a price, and all of that. And then from this software, I can post each item onto the 3 platforms I sell, which is eBay, Poshmark, and Mesquite, and I can do that all at once. So that's how I do it nowadays, but I'm just going to go through the process of how you do it if you were to be uploading your pictures to Poshmark instead of this List Perfectly software. The first thing to do is to take the background off of the cover photos that we will be using to post on Poshmark. Today I'll be showing you using Photo Room. At the very top there is a plus button, so I'll just go ahead and click that, and then I'll just go ahead and click on this box next to the word multiple. That way it allows me to select multiple photos at a time. So these are the pictures that are in my camera roll. And most of the time I just select one of the pictures that looks the best. Either this one here that shows the full back of the jeans or the front. Either one of those two I will use as my cover photo. I don't remove the background from all the pictures, just one of those. So for these particular jeans, I'm going to go ahead and go with the back since it shows the embroidery. So next up we have these Joe jeans, and again I think I'm going to go with the back. And then the last ones we'll do are these cut from the cloth ripped jeans, and for these I think I'm going to go with the front version just because it shows some of the distressing here. And once I'm done, I can click check mark up at the top right, and it'll automatically start removing that background for me. So instead of that yellowish background from my wall, it's completely white. Then we'll just keep clicking next here until all of my pictures are done. Once all the pictures are done and they have the clear white background, I'm going to click this down arrow to download these pictures, and then just tap on save to gallery. And now we can go ahead and go to our Poshmark app. In this Poshmark app, we're going to select this camera where it says sell. From there, it'll bring up the camera so that you can take your pictures, but since we already have our pictures, we're going to skip that and just select this portrait looking thing on the bottom left to add our pictures. And here we have the photos that we removed the background from at the very top. I'm going to go ahead and upload these Express rock jeans. And then I'm going to scroll down to find the rest of the pictures that belong with those Express jeans. Once you've selected all the pictures, just go ahead and click select right here. Your very first order of business is going to be to crop your photos as it says up here. And as I'm taking pictures, I make sure that they are centered and that they are cropped already. So this is a step that I never really have to do. So I'm just going to click next. And then the next order of business is going to be to select your cover shot. My cover shot is going to be this one that's there already, but if it wasn't, then you just go through and select the one that you wanted. Once you're done selecting, you can click next here at the top right. And from here, you can edit your cover photo. Your cover photo is the only one you can edit. At the top here, if you scroll, you'll have different filters you can add to your cover photo. The first 3 are okay. They brighten up your photo somewhat. The ones after that, I feel sometimes change your item color too much. That is something you don't want. You don't want the item to look different than what it actually is, because then that's how returns happen. People get something they didn't expect to get. So make sure if you're using these filters, it doesn't change the actual item, how it actually looks too much. Beside filters, there's this adjust feature, and here's where you can go and toggle with some of these things, increase the brightness, the contrast. Once you're done editing your cover photo, you can click next. And now our photos are all uploaded onto Poshmark. From here, the next thing you may want to do is rearrange your photos if they're not in an appropriate order. Mine are in order, I think, but if they weren't in order for you, all you have to do is tap and hold and move it around. Tap and hold the picture and you can move it around how you like. I didn't take a video for these jeans, so I didn't have a video to upload, but you can also go and add a 15-second video to your listing. From there, you can go ahead and fill out all these details. You can add the title, the description, and all these things here. But most of the time, as I said, I will upload the items from my phone and finish off the rest on my computer. So I'm going to go show you how I'd finish all of this off on the computer and just go ahead and save this as a draft for now. To save listings as drafts on your phone, what you're going to do is click this back arrow. Like if you're going to exit out of this listing, click the back arrow. And from there, it'll give you some options. You can save it as draft or you can discard your changes. So we're going to go ahead and save it as draft. And if I was doing multiple listings, then I'd go ahead and click this sell button again, upload the next item, save it as draft. I most of the time do about 5 at a time. So I do all the 5 at once, upload them here, and then finish them off on the computer. And now let me go show you how we do that. What I'm going to do is click on the sell on Poshmark option at the top right. That will bring up my drafts. This is the one we created and the one I'm going to show you how to fill out. Here you can also move around your pictures and edit them somewhat if you wish to do so. Just tap and hold and move them around. But mine's are ready to go. I'm going to leave them as is. When we scroll down, the very first thing you have to do is to add a title. And this is by far the most important part of your listing. This is going to determine whether your item is going to be found when someone is looking for it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my title that I had already previously made. 2 big helpful things that I can tell you when coming up with a title for your listing. One is to add the brand name at the very front. So I'll put Rock for Express at the very front of the title. The words that are towards the front of a title have the most weight. And then the second best tip, Poshmark says it themselves here off to the side, include words that your buyers would search for. So if someone was looking for these kind of pair of jeans, what words would they put up in the search bar on Poshmark to find this item? In the beginning, you may struggle a bit and you may have to do a little bit of research to know what to call things or what to say about them, but it does get easier with time. Then we come to the second most important part of your listing, which is to describe your item. Here on this other software that I use that I told you about earlier, lists perfectly. I have templates that I use to post when I'm listing on Poshmark. So I'm going to go to Jeans Classic here, and I'm just going to copy this description and paste it here. So what a template basically is it leaves out blanks for me to just fill out the missing information. So since these are denim jeans, most of my descriptions will look similar for denim jeans. I really recommend you do this. Create a template that you can use over and over again so that you don't have to create descriptions from scratch. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this, and then I'll be back with some other helpful description tips. Okay, so that is my description finished. You do have up to 500 characters for your description and up to 50 for your title here. I used up all of my characters for my title and most of my description, but not all of it. So when it comes to your description, here's some ideas of things you can include. This is the title up here. In the first line of my descriptions, I always say the title again, but sometimes in different words if possible, just so that I can include as many keywords that people may be using as they're looking for this type of product. You can also talk about the fit. Is it boot cut? Does it fit close to the body? Is it relaxed? You can talk about the material as well. What is the clothing made of? Other things you can talk about in your description, where you would be using this type of clothing to. what kind of occasion. Is it for a party? Is it casual? Is it business, workwear? What is it? Other things you can add are interesting details, if it had studs, diamonds, sequins. And don't forget, most of all, to always talk about your condition. So I put my condition here. It is gently used, in great condition, and no flaws. But if it did have flaws, then I'd go ahead and describe what those flaws are here and encourage them to go up and look at the pictures. You can let them know about your policies. If you have a smoke-free home, do you ship fast next day? Do you accept offers? Are you top rated? And just say anything that you can say to instill confidence in the buyer to go through with buying something from you. These two are the things that take the most time, but after that, everything else is pretty simple. The next thing would be to select your category. So this is women's jeans. So we'll click on women's, then jeans, and then we select what kind of jeans they are. These are boot cut. This is a single item. I don't have multiple of these kind of jeans. If you did, you'd go ahead and select multiple. Then we'll select the size. You can do standard, plus, petite, juniors, maternity, or you can add a custom size if you'd like. Then you can select if your items are new with tags or not. These are not, so I'm going to click no, but let me just show you what happens if you click yes. It's going to ask you if this is a boutique item. For boutiques, you have to have a boutique closet. You have to sign up for that kind of stuff. So if you did have something new with tags, you click yes here and no here, unless you actually signed up for a boutique with Poshmark. Then the brand, we're just going to type in Express, and it'll start to pull up some of the brands that are similar to what you're typing up here. So I'll just go ahead and click that. Then we can select up to 2 colors. So these jeans are blue and they have like white stitching. So I'll just select those 2 colors. I recommend to select your primary color first and add a second color when appropriate. But if it's just one, then just select one and click done. Style tags are like hashtags. So you can add anything that kind of describes your item. So these are like Western type jeans. They're boot cut, and they're casual jeans, and you can add up to 3 style tags here. Next is the pricing. So there are several ways that I come up with my pricing. Let me go ahead and open up a new tab off to the side to show you what I do. One of the things I do is I will go to my profile picture up at the top, click on my sales, and here in the search bar you can search for sales you've had in the past. So I know that I haven't had any Express jeans sales in the past, but there are several items that I do sell often, like Levi's jeans, Silver jeans, Lucky Brand jeans. So all of those I can just search and see what they actually sold for me in the past, so that I can come up with a price. But since I've never sold Express jeans, then we're not going to find that here. So my next thing would be to come to this title here, copy it and paste it here into Poshmark as if I'm searching for something to buy. So as I scroll down, you see that people are listing them anywhere from $25, $44, as low as $15 here. So I'll just kind of scroll and see what people are listing them for. But then the other thing you can do is add a sold filter off to the side here. You can select the type of colors you want to see, the prices and all that. But what we're going to do is select on sold item. And we're doing this because I want to see what they've actually sold for in the past. I can see what they're listed for right now, and that gives me a general idea of what I may want to price mine at. But I also kind of want to see what they have actually sold for in the past. So that's why we add that sold filter there. These jeans sell anywhere from $20 to $44, all the way up to $28. And then another thing I can see is what people are listing the MSRP price for right here off to the side. After scrolling through all of this, I'm going to put my original price at $100, and I'm going to expect to get about $27 for these jeans, maybe $25 or so. So I'm going to go ahead and list them at $35. So I'm listing them about $10 more than what I expect to get for them, just so that it gives me room for people to send out offers to me and for me to send out offers to people and to take advantage of sales and things like that. So that's more or less how I come up with my pricing. As I said, a lot of the time I can just search up previous sales that I've had, and that just makes it a lot easier to kind of know what to price things at. But obviously that takes a long time of selling and having experience to come up with those prices. So just put the best price you can. I say aim a little bit high just to give yourself room for profit and discounts and all of that, but not too high where it deters buyers to even engage with you, even ask questions, send offers and all of that. But I think the more you do it, the more you'll kind of can estimate what to price things at. So here is our final price, $34, and right below it you will see that there is a suggested price. This is something Poshmark recently added. They just try to tell you around how much they think you should list your item for a faster sale. But I ignore this. I just do my own research as I just showed you, and I go with my best estimate on my own. From these $34, we are going to pay Poshmark 20%, and that is the selling fee that they charge. And so down here it tells us our final earnings. If these jeans were to sell for $34, after Poshmark keeps their 20, we keep the rest of the 80%, which is $27.20. Now it is 20% selling fee for anything that you sell for $15 and above. For anything below $15, the selling fee will be $2.95 flat fee. That's what you will pay Poshmark for selling on their platform. Another thing that Poshmark recently added is this shipping discount option. The way shipping works on Poshmark is that it is $7.45 for up to 5 pounds. And this is as of 2021 because it does change every year. So it is $7.45 as long as you do not go above 5 pounds. But it takes a lot to go above 5 pounds. It's going to be about 5 jeans or 6. So it'll be a lot of tops that would take up the whole 5 pounds. If you want to get a scale to be on the safe side, but I didn't use a scale for years and I was always okay. The buyer pays those $7.45 by default. Just to start with, the buyer pays it, but you can choose to give them a shipping discount. Before, you would do that through offers and other ways, but now Poshmark is allowing you to do it as you're creating your listing. So it is at no shipping discount right now, but if we were to click on $5.95 shipping, then the buyer would pay $34 for these jeans plus $5.95 shipping. And the difference from $5.95 to $7.45 is $1.50, and we would end up paying that from our earnings. So as you see, our earnings went down to $25.70, and if I were to switch this to $4.99, now the buyer would pay $34 plus $4.99, and the difference would be $2.46 to make it up to the $7.45 shipping fee. And we would pay for that, and again it would come out of our earnings here. And lastly, if we gave free shipping, same thing, we would end up paying the whole thing, $7.45, and our earnings would go down. Right now I keep all of my items at no discount, and I give them shipping discounts as I'm sending out offers to likers, which I will touch on later on in this video. Okay, now we're getting to the end of our listing here. The availability, you can choose if you want to have it for sale, if you want to have it not for sale, or you can choose it to drop it later, where you list it now, but it drops in a few days, where it actually goes live and people can purchase it. And the last thing we'll go over here, you can click on show details, and you can add private information here. So any information you add here will not be shown to the buyer. You'll be the only one to see that. You can add a SKU number, a cost price, and any other information you'd like to add. Once you're done doing all of that, you can click on update, and you can click on list this item, and then your item will be live on Poshmark. All right, so you've done all of the hard work, you've got your inventory, you took the pictures and you uploaded it for sale on Poshmark. Now what? Do you just wait for the sales to come in? No, not really. It will happen sometimes that people will just come to your page and purchase your item full price, no questions asked. And some sales will happen that way, but more often than not, it's going to take a little bit of initiative from your side to make these sales happen. There's so many things you can do to bring about sales. I will leave videos that I've done in the past where I share some of the tactics that I use. But for now, I just want to leave you with 3 of the most important things you need to know and that you need to do to make sales. The first one is the most important one, and that is that you need to share your closet often. Now, I have my phone here and I'm going to show you what I mean, and then I'm going to show you why it's important. Here I am in the home screen of Poshmark on the app on my phone. I'm going to click on the icon that says at Sandra's 5th Avenue on the bottom right, and I'm going to select my closet. So that will bring me to my closet here, and the items that have just been shared are going to be at the top. I'm going to share one from the bottom so that you can see what I mean. I'm going to share this Maeve Anthropology blouse here. And to share it, all you have to do is tap on those arrows that go around like in a square. So I'm going to tap that. And then it's going to give you the sharing options. At the very top, you will see that it says share to my followers. You can share to people on Poshmark. You can share via message, email, and all that. But ignore all that. The only thing you need to do is share to my followers. And that item is now shared. And now you have to do the exact same thing to the rest of your closet. Go down the line and keep clicking that share my followers. Share my followers. Now the reason why this is important is because that's how Poshmark's algorithm works. Algorithms work in different ways for different things, like on YouTube, as long as you have the keyword in the title. And if people are watching it throughout the whole video, that will push your video up high. Instagram, Facebook, everyone has different ways that their algorithm works. But for Poshmark, one of the ways their algorithm works is whatever just got shared will be at the top. So if I go here on this app and go down to the shop option and say I'm shopping for some Nike running shoes, at the very top, you can see these filters right here. One of the filters is sort. So right here it says just shared. So these Nike running shoes are sorted by just shared, and it's automatically defaulted like that. You can change it if you want to for it to sort by just in, price high to low, low to high, and all those things. But by default, Poshmark has it as just shared. So if we go and tap the first pair of shoes, at the very top, right below her username, you can see that it says updated 39 seconds ago. When you share, it updates your item. So that's what it means by updated. The next pair of shoes, the black and white ones that are right beside it, it says updated 28 seconds ago. And if I scroll more towards the bottom, then it starts getting higher. The time right below their username, updated 1 minute ago. It starts getting higher and higher. So the more you share, the more your items will stay at the top of the search when people search for something. So that's why it's important for you to share your closet as much as you can throughout the day. And if you only have like 10 items because you're just getting started, then you should be sharing those 10 items once an hour or something. Once you start sharing your closet often, you are going to start receiving likes. People will like your item. And likes means nothing really. It doesn't boost your item up in the algorithm or nothing like that. The only great thing about likes is that now you can send these people who have liked your item an offer. And most of my sales happen that way. All throughout the day, I'm checking my Poshmark for new likes and I send out these people offers. So let me show you how that works here. To get to your likes, what you're going to do is click on that bell icon that says news. At the very top, you can scroll through to select the type of news you want to see. By default, it is going to put it as all, so you can see all of your news here all bunched together. But most of the time what I will do is just scroll through here, go to the likes. Now here are the people that have liked my items recently. So I will go to the ones that I haven't gotten to in the previous time that I checked. So let's say I wanted to send out an offer for this blouse here. I'm going to select the blouse, and then we're going to click on the offer / price drop button that's at the bottom right. And from there you can send out offers to likers, which is private. Only the people who have liked your item will see it. Or you can edit your listing price, and that will be public. So your price will change permanently and everyone can see it. But what we want to do is offers to likers privately. This will not automatically change the price of your item. It'll only send out this offer to people who have liked it. So you can either select your price here, or you can use that little calculator that's right there to kind of give you a percentage off, 10, 20, or 30. Let's say I want to give 20% off the shirt. I'll click apply offer. Then below that, you have to apply a shipping discount. It's required when you're sending out offers to likers to also apply a discount to the shipping. You can either have them pay $5.95, which is the first option, $4.99, or you can give them free shipping. You'll have to pay the difference. So let's go ahead and click apply. So I'm giving them 20% off at $19. And then I'm going to give them a $5.95 shipping, and the rest I have to pay for. So my net earnings, if they accept this, will be $13.70. So that includes the 20% fee that Poshmark takes away from me selling on their platform, and that also includes the $1.50 difference that I have to end up paying for giving them a shipping discount. But that is the second way that you're going to be making sales on Poshmark. Just sending out offers to likers all day as soon as someone likes your item. Some people say that you should wait later in the day and do them all together. People just have different philosophies on how this thing works. But I like to send out offers as soon as possible. I know for myself, when I'm shopping on Poshmark, I like things to see who's gonna send me an offer, and I feel like the faster you do it, the higher your chances of making that sale. And the third and final way you'll make a sale, or the way that we're going to talk about today, is that people will send you offers. So sometimes people will like your item but they don't like the price, so they'll send you an offer. So make sure to stay on the lookout for those. You'll receive a Poshmark notification letting you know. Accept those offers if it's the right price for you, or you can always counter back with something higher. In my opinion, I don't think you should ever click decline, because then that closes out the sale completely. Just always counter back with what you are willing to accept. Now let's talk a little bit about what happens after you make a sale. What does that process look like? Well, first of all, when you do make a sale, you will receive a notification on Poshmark, and it'll have a little green cash symbol like that. And that's how you know you've made a sale. So after you've made a sale, you need to download your shipping label. The shipping label is prepaid, whether you ended up paying some of the shipping and they paid the rest, or they paid all of the shipping. Whatever the case is, it's already been paid for on Poshmark. So all you have to do is download this label, put it on your package, and take it to the USPS store. But let's back up a little bit. To download your label, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do here. You can always just go to your emails. They always email it to you. You can just scroll to the bottom of that email, and there you will see your label that you can print right from your computer. You can also do it from your phone here. So I'm going to click on this recent order that I had, and then you can scroll down and it says download shipping label. Click download again, and this phone is connected to that printer back there, but the printer isn't on, so it's not going to connect. But just know that you can use a printer like that. More recently, I started using a thermal printer, which makes it easier, but I do have to print that from my computer. Just whatever you decide to go with. You can use paper one, thermal one. make sure to cut it and put it on your box. Let's talk about that for a moment. Boxes. You can go to Google and type in free USPS boxes. That will take you to the USPS page where you can order free shipping supplies. All of Poshmark's packages are shipped through priority mail. And this is what priority mail packaging looks like. It'll say priority mail. There are some that say express mail and they look similar, but they're not the same. The only ones you can use for Poshmark will say priority mail like this. And you can get them for free on that website that I just told you about. You can always use your own packaging if you want. You can save your boxes and stuffing paper and everything that you get from online orders and use it for Poshmark if you want. But if you do want to order some of these boxes, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I use the most. One of the ones that I use the most is this one here. It is a medium flat rate box. And this one, I use it for jeans, for shoes, for small jackets and things like that. This is the one I use on the daily basis. Besides that, I will also use this here. This is a padded flat rate envelope, and I use this for blouses, tops, and things like that. The next package I use the most is this one here. It is like a paper type mailing envelope. I will use the first box I showed you for jeans if there's enough space in my mailbox. But if I'm trying to conserve space because I have too much packages, then I will use this for jeans. This will also fit like leggings or tops. This box, I use it sometimes, but not as often as that first one I showed you. And this is called a large flat rate box. It says it right there. Large flat rate box. And this is useful for like some boots will fit in here, but also some thicker, heavier jackets will fit there. So essentially that's what you're going to do. You're going to order the supplies from the USPS website. You're going to get your cells, hopefully. Going to add the item in one of these packages where it fits the best, just so that it's not moving around everywhere as it's, you know, making it to its destination. Then you're going to print your label, paste it on here with tape, or tape it on here if it's a thermal label. And then you're going to take this package to the USPS store. If it fits in your mailbox outside, you can also put it there. And there's also like these blue standing mailboxes around town. You can also use that as well. Once USPS gets a hold of your package and they actually scan it, it will go through the system and Poshmark will alert you that your package has started tracking. They will alert you and the buyer, so both of y'all will know where your package is at throughout the whole time. You can track your package right from the app as well. Once the buyer receives the package, again, both of you will be notified the package has reached its destination. From there, from that day forward, the buyer has 3 days to accept your package. Accept it meaning they confirm that they got it. They confirm that it is in the condition that the description said it was going to be. And if they don't accept it within 3 days, then Poshmark will automatically just close down the sale. And no returns can be made after that point. Once the sale is closed, either because the buyer accepted the package or because Poshmark automatically closed it, then your funds will be released to you. They will be available on the Poshmark app. Let me show you where you can find that. Here on the Poshmark app, you're going to click on your username at the bottom right. Click it until you get to this menu here, and then we're going to scroll down and go to My Balance. From My Balance, there you will be able to see everything that's going on with your account. You can see credits that you've got from people who used your code to sign up for Poshmark, you can see what's pending. So these are going to be the funds that from the packages that still haven't gotten to the buyer. So they're still pending, they're not available to you. And then we'll have redeemable. Once your buyer does get their package, it will move from pending to redeemable. And that's where you will go to transfer your money to your bank. So you'll click on that redeemable option, add your bank information, and you're able to get paid. Or you can always just request a check. That is essentially how this whole Poshmark thing works. I know it's a lot of different steps you have to take, but it gets easier with time. With time, you'll learn a lot more of techniques and tricks and things to do to save time here and there and just get into the groove of things to make this thing go faster so that you can make more money and make this thing worth it. So I really do hope that this video answered any questions you may have had, but if you do have any left, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Also, make sure to leave your closet name down below. I'm always shopping on Poshmark, using up my credits, so I'd love to shop from some of you and support you if you're just getting started. And for more Poshmark tutorials, tips, tricks, and things, check out this playlist here. And that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.